For a low price, you can't beat the economic friendly 2018 Chevy Cruze. With its 1.4-liter turbo engine, you would swear you're driving the brand new Corvette. But is there any cons to these, Pro? We're gonna find out, people, when we get back. So stay tuned. What you may call it studios, where we film anything to keep you entertained. Boom. Be right back. Okay, with the 2018 Chevy Cruze, there are many other economic friendly vehicles out there like this one, and in the price range as this one, and that is like ranging from 9,000 to roughly 17,000, depending on how you buy it, purchase or finance or whatnot. But a few of them comes packaged like this. This Chevy Cruze is designed with the flashy looking trims, body trims, the V-cut nose, you know, beautiful sleek design. I give the engineers them, the designers over at Chevy, a 10 out of 10, and then I'm gonna subtract 4 points because this is giving me the same feel as the Chevy Impala. It's giving me the same feel as the old Camaro with that V cut in the front. So as I say, it is nicely packaged for the price. Beautiful body trims and whatnot, but as I say, I think they could have been a little bit more original, you know, maybe went less on that V cut and give us like a something round, or even go more sharp with the V. I don't know, but as I say, when I see them, I can barely differentiate between them and the Chevy Impala. The only difference between the Impala is length. The Impala is just the bigger version of this, and it's kind of disappointing, but that is it when it comes to body style. These also come in a sedan shape, in a hatchback shape. So this is the sedan, and they also have the hatchback shape. Hey guys, let's discuss the interior. It has, excuse the stuff on the back seat, it has seating for a family of 5. And it also comes with a, I'm not sure the size, but a pretty sizable LED display touchscreen. It has Bluetooth, and I'm not sure about Apple Play. I haven't plugged it in as yet, but it also has cruise control and all the standard application of the car, AC, all of that. Let's turn it on and let's just have a feel of it. With such great economic mileage, my concern, or what I find fun about it, is, well, depending on the size of the family, for a size of 5 people, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so when it comes to the interior, for the price you're getting, it is, I think, again, they struck gold. It can house a family of 5, you know, 2 adults and 3 children. And I think that there is enough space for a good distance road trip. This is where I think it really knocks it out the park. For the type of MPG that you get, the size of the car, you know, allows for comfort for you to take a long enough road trip to where you're not feeling too cramped and stuff like that. Also, the seats are not powered. They are manually adjusted seats. You slide back and forth on the rail and the track. Of course, and it has a good speaker. The stereo also is really great, as I said, for the price range. For $9,000 with less than 100,000 miles, you have your Apple Play, your Bluetooth, cruise control, ample space. Also, in the next shot, I'm going to give you a reference of the trunk volume. So how much the trunk can hold on your road trip. Also, a next feature of this interior that I'm excited to show is also attached to the trunk as well. These back seat, you pop these tabs on the back seat, and then voila. So you pop the tab on the back seat, and then the seat comes forward. It comes forward like this. It creates more space. You might be able to do a little small hardware supply run, or pack as much as you need to pack inside. So as I said, guys, I think these are this is my first review. Chevy has inspired me to review cars, even if I have to go and rent a couple more, just because. And I'm a real big Chevy fan. We can review my truck over there and that Kia, but that's it for the interior. As I say, fit 5 people. Manually adjusted seats, both driver and passenger side. The back seat comes down and creates more space, open up the volume for the trunk. And right now we are going to cut to the scene and show you what the trunk looks like for volume. Okay, so there we have a few things just to show scale, and there's space to fit plenty more. And as you know, there's an industry for a lot of use for these vehicles: Instacart, Uber Eats. Okay, so at this part of the review, we're about to see how much gas $10 can get us. As you can see, we're a little bit above E, so let's go. Okay, so in our next part of our video, we'll be dealing with miles per gallon and performance. Okay, okay. So to fill the tank, it takes roughly $35, right? You can hear the purr of the engine. Back when we was discussing interior, I forget to kind of go through the menu and show you all on what on the LED display. It's touch screen projection. You can connect a supporting device. You can make a phone call. Once the Bluetooth is connected, you can make a phone call from here. And it has OnStar, gallery from your supporting device again. But not to get off topic, we are back to MPG, miles per gallon, and it is 29 to 30 inside the city, and it is 40 miles per gallon highway miles. And I mentioned that one of the uses for these cars that I think it's a super good move, it's if you're in Uber Eats, Amazon, any type of package delivery business. There is volume in this car, there is power in the car, and the economy, as I say, mile per gallon, 40 mile per gallon. So you get a bang for your buck. Now, $35 fill it, give you 40 mile per gallon highway, 30 in the city. So before I pop the hood and we just glance over the engine, let me tell you again how I understand the thought process of the engineer. So they used a 1-liter engine and to maximize the potential, they turbocharge it. So it's like getting a V6 engine for the price of less. And for the highway mileage per gallon, again, you get performance. It drives really well. I won't be doing a test drive in this right now because I have the oil change to do. But I've driven it, a lot of power. It goes from 0 to 60 in like a couple of seconds. So the engineers did not disappoint with the concept. However, when doing my research and looking at common problems, it has some devastating common problems that it's really just like a cracked piston. They said that the piston might crack. They said that there might be transmission issues. So with that said, I think it's worth it for the money because every vehicle gonna have its own problem and every vehicle have major recall every now and then. Which brings me to my next topic, which is why I feel like I'm qualified now to do video reviews. If you check my channel, over the years I've maintained different vehicles, how to repair them and stuff. So I have a mechanics knowledge, a concept of how all the system work, the AC system, the suspension system, the ABS system, brake, all of that. I do everything on the car. Head gasket change. Check out my video, gas pump change. I do everything. I've even messed around with the computer module a little bit. Not really, nothing much, just replacing it. I can't program it or anything. I've done ignition problem, replace starters. So I understand what good engineering is like. I've seen vehicles with good mileage, good performance, and I'm really into older vehicles. I'm gonna do a little review on this. It's a manual transmission. Really like it. It's the reviews for me is all about engineering, performance, saving, bang on the box. Cause even though my channel do, we shoot anything, we really try to stay on the safer side, on the how to save a dollar side. So the performance for the money is top notch. The only cons to these pros are that you might end up with a cracked piston or a transmission problem when it reach higher up in mileage. At what mileage do these problems start to occur? I did not look it up as yet, but I'm pretty sure you can do the research further. I'm trying to make the review as long as possible, but I will not sacrifice quality for length. So we're gonna call it a day, and you have these things to think about. For $9,000, you can get a 2018 Chevy Cruze with less than 100,000 miles, with a MPG of 30 miles per gallon city and 40 miles highway. This is a great investment for, self-employment, Uber Eats, Amazon, Grubhub, any one of these self-delivery apps and stuff like that. If you have a small family, you're trying to save money, not trying to finance, trying to make an upfront investment, or even if you finance, it's going to run you a little bit of 17,000, but still a sensible payment versus a SUV where you're going to end up with like $600 payment a month. This is my first car review. Tell me if you thought it was helpful. Tell me if you think I hit the points. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Check out my playlist, Gearhead Lifestyle. It contains all the videos of cars and car related issue. And look out for my next video, how to change the car oil. because that's the next thing. With such a small vehicle, maintenance is great. You only need 5 quarts of oil, which you can just pick up at your local Walmart for a reasonable price. I think it used 0-2W oil. I think it's used 0-2W. Let's take a quick look under the hood, and you just pull this 2 times and the hood should open. And there's a little tab. Okay, and here you have it, the engine compartment. You know the downside to working on these vehicles, that is small space to really reach and change anything, but they have everything to fit in there. I think see the turbocharger here. I've always wanted to work on a turbocharger, but I've never had the chance. I'm not that big on modifying cars. I like to keeping them running, but the modification. But here you go, 0-W-20, and that's the oil that goes in there. Have a dipstick. Oil looks pretty good for me, but I'm gonna replace it. Car been sitting for a year, but there you go, guys. Here is where the location of your what I think this is the radiator reservoir. This is the radiator reservoir. This is the brake fluid pump, windshield wiper. You pour your oil in there. But I'm going to do some other videos, a lot more mechanic videos. I've been doing homesteading videos a lot lately. I want to bring back in some more mechanic videos and show you guys step by step on how to maintain a car everyday use. Okay, that's it for now on my first review video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. See you next time. I'm out. Boom.